Guys, listen, man. This fragrance is a goodie. I got this like beyond the 100th fragrance in my collection. Always saw it low key in the background. Not a ton of people talking about it, but a good amount of people talking about it. But when I saw the fragrance it was cloning, it was a no brainer. I had to put my nose to it and see for myself if it was legit. Strap up. We're going for a ride. All right. Welcome to the Scent Bubble. I am your host for the late evening. Listen, man, this one's a goodie. This fragrance is supposedly cloning Tom Ford's Noir Extreme. Let me just double check. Yes, the Extreme. Tom Ford Noir Extreme. Noir, and Noir Extreme are phenomenal, super layered, complex, spicy fragrances. When you think of fragrances like Spicebomb Extreme, what else? That's pretty much the go-to in terms of that Spicebomb DNA. When you think about that DNA, you can look no further than Tom Ford's Noir Extreme as kind of the highest height of sophistication of that kind of holiday spice. I feel like with Tom Ford's fragrance, they've taken that DNA and removed it out of the holiday category completely, meaning it could still go in the holiday category if it chooses, meaning you could wear the fragrance during the holidays. But if the holidays weren't around and you put it on, you would not think of the holidays immediately when you smelt it, because the level of sophistication in the spice is just so leaning more classy and less on like a reminiscent holiday sweetness. It's too complex for that. It's in another category of its own in terms of sophistication in the spicy, ambery, vanilla category. And this clone is no different. Let me introduce you to the House of Armaf. This is Odyssey Homme Eau de Parfum. Guys, this right here is a gem. When I talk about top 20 clones in my collection, this has to be in it in no particular order. Because when you talk about that spicy direction, this is so well done. It's not quite one-to-one Tom Ford Noir Extreme, and I do have Noir Extreme next to me, so I know I can say that very comfortably that it's not one-to-one. It might be like 8 out of 10 in terms of closeness. Very reminiscent though. It's like a cross between Tom Ford's Noir Extreme and like Spicebomb Extreme, which isn't a bad thing, right, guys? I mean, both of those fragrances are absolutely phenomenal. In a nutshell, spicy, ambery, vanilla, warm, touch of powder, absolutely classy. I feel like this is better than Spicebomb Extreme to an extent because of the maturity and the toning down the level of restraint within it. Whereas I feel like Spicebomb Extreme just kind of goes over the top. Even something like Spicebomb's Infrared, it kind of has a touch of infrared to it just due to the warm amberiness. But yeah, guys, I mean, it's a three-way trio between Spicebomb Extreme, Infrared, and Tom Ford's Noir Extreme, Noir, whatever. Let's take a look here at the note breakdown, and then we'll kind of go through some stuff that you need to know. Right off rip, I got this fragrance for $20, including shipping on the TikTok shop. I think in the best case scenario, non-TikTok, you're going to get this for probably $25 to $30 after shipping. But definitely go to your fragrance buy, go to your TikTok shop, and you will find it for $20 with free shipping pretty much from a lot of reputable sellers on there, not these little one-off. See, matter of fact, let me change the camera real quick. This is an important point I need to make because a lot of y'all were hating on me for shopping on a TikTok shop. I've bought over 20 fragrances on the TikTok shop. I had one fragrance get canceled on me, and that was simply because there was one fragrance left of it, and me and somebody bought at the same time. They prioritized the other buyer and said, hey, I got to send it to this guy, so I can't send it to you. People seem to think TikTok is just with the... I haven't paid more than like $25 on, maybe $30 max on any fragrance on TikTok shop. Most of the fragrances I have, I bought for $20 or less. And they're legit. People questioning the juice. Oh, that can't be off non 9 p.m. juice. Guys, listen, I've purchased all the Gene Low, off non 9 p.m., Atlas, Halloween Man, Sacrat, Eternal Oud, Odyssey Homme. Like, I've purchased so many fragrances on there. They're not giving me the wrong juice. I get the boxes completely sealed. These are from actual retailers. I don't go on TikTok shop and buy from Jose 324. I go on there and I buy from Trendsetters Perfumery, or, you know what I'm saying, reputable retailers that have storefronts and just happen to sell on the TikTok shop. And so you don't have to, as long as you're paying attention to the ratings and how many items that the seller has sold, you can make very confident purchases. This is full, beautiful bottle, exactly the same as the presentation. DNA spot on. This is not a fake. Got it for $20, shipping included. Back to the window here. So in a nutshell, we have top notes of vanilla and amber. In the mid, this is where the spices really come through, and I really feel like this is so beautifully done. Oriental notes, which is typically spices, general spices, and iris. When I tell you guys, and we're going to go ahead and put this on the test strip just to say we did. When I get my nose on this, guys, I smell the oriental touch. I smell the spices. I even smell somewhat of the iris. And I think that's where this fragrance gets some of its powder from. I think this is top 10 most no-brainer clone fragrances that you must buy. If you're a fan of anything from the Spicebomb line or anything from Tom Ford's Noir or Noir Extreme, this has to be a purchase that's a no-brainer in that category. So fresh, so non-fake smelling, so well balanced in terms of the vanilla, the sweet, the spice, so ramped up in maturity, I think due to the nuance of oriental spice as well as generic spice, though we don't know what spices are being used. And then that touch of iris just freshens those spices up and provides a touch of powder. This is that powdery iris, no more than about 10% though, but certainly there if you put your nose to it. It adds seduction, it adds allure. And then right back on the bottom, we have vanilla, leather, and jasmine. Another floral note to add that ounce of sophistication, another floral. Also added a little dose of freshness, some maturity to go with the spice in represented through leather. This is not any of your typical clone leather. It doesn't smell animalic at all. It smells smooth. It almost comes off suede-y, but not quite. It's not like a Celestial from Amir in terms of its very light mineralic suede note. The leather here just comes off as kind of this, it smells like spices, sweet spices rubbed onto like a leather belt. That's just very high quality craftsmanship. Maybe that cigar lounge leather jacket feel. And this is just, man, 10 out of 10 fragrance for me. Just in terms of quality, price, projection and longevity, versatility, complexity, it just knocked it out of the park for me. If you're looking for something that is one-to-one Tom Ford Noir Extreme, this is not that. And the reality is you will not find that. You will find fragrances that at best get around 90% close. This, I believe, is more 80% close. In the 20% that it's lacking, it kind of leans as a twist fragrance into either Spicebomb Infrared or Spicebomb Extreme. which are both phenomenal fragrances, guys. So it's complementary. It's not like, where the heck did this fragrance go? You will think Tom Ford Noir Extreme when you smell this. Slightly less sophisticated, but nonetheless very sophisticated, very fresh, non-synthetic. I think this is an ageless fragrance. This is a you make the fragrance type of fragrance. Teenager to grown man, this has every ounce of sophistication that you need for a grown man. This has every ounce of freshness and lightness, even in its heaviness. It's not quite beast mode. I would call it maybe a 7 out of 10. But this has every level of crispness and freshness from the florals that you would appreciate in a spicy, ambery vanilla fragrance. I think amber and vanilla and spice are teeny bop, teenage, and young adult type of fragrance profiles. So I think that's why it would appeal to the younger crowd, because it's sweet. The spicy isn't pepper spice, it's holiday spice. And vanilla and amber, it's just like so no-brainer. But what gives it that extra level of sophistication is that iris and that leather and that jasmine. Boy, do they balance this out to now go into the category of sophistication, where now older males feel like they're wearing a showstopper of a fragrance. If you wear Tom Ford's Noir Extreme, you feel like a boss. Like, it's just so upscale. It takes a DNA that, had it not had the spices, the leather, and the iris, would feel very teeny boppy, and just puts the class and sophistication behind it. Leather, powdery iris, floral jasmine for freshness. Like, what are we talking about here, guys? Even the spices come off slightly non-holiday. Like, they have a holiday reminiscence to them, but they're unique. Like, it does come out like a linear spice, but I'm just saying the note that I smell of spice is very much like fresh, slightly peppery by like 5%, but more leaning in holiday spice potpourri category. But it's just a mature spice. It's not just some holiday dinky sweet cinnamon stick spice, guys. This is sophisticated. Okay, I'm done talking. Ageless fragrance. Shines in cold weather. This is a cold weather / indoor cool fragrance. Don't wear this in high heat. Don't wear this on a beach. Don't wear this out in the sun unless it's a cool, refreshing, aerating day. This is date night. This is suit and tie. This is luxury. This is indoor but sophisticated. This is cigar lounge. This is hookah lounge. This is, maybe a college kid going to a party and he wants to be wearing a showstopper fragrance. You walk into the party, no one's going to smell like you, and the allure of the sweet and spiciness is going to make girls think you're just mature, sophisticated, and the sweet draw to it with the amber and vanilla. As a young kid, if you're in school, this is a 1-2 spray killer. You put 1 or 2 sprays of this on you, it's going to go the whole day. People are going to be like, how's this young cat have such a beautiful fragrance? Your teacher's going to look at you funny and be like, wow, why you smell so good? You're only 16. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think ageless fragrance, romance, formal, semi-formal, showstoppery fragrance in colder weather or a weather that can aerate. Don't touch this in summer, spring weather unless it's cooler, breezy weather. You can get away with it, but it's mostly going to be an indoor fragrance. Date night, anniversary, all that. Holiday season, absolutely. You might even be able to work this into like a leather jacket type of bad boy regiment. You're riding on your motorcycle. You got your leather jacket at the cigar lounge. You're going to a hookah lounge, whatever. This is just a fresh fragrance. Trying to think. Oh, projection and longevity. I get north of 6 to 8 hours on this sucker. Definitely north of 6. I would say it borders beast mode more on the 7 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? Like it's tough because 7 normally means average for me in my head, but this is above average performance to me. I think anything that sits around the 8-hour mark is above average performance to me. Most fragrances won't go 8 hours in my experience. They can go around 5-6 hours. Once you start creeping into 7-8, now you've got a really solid longevity fragrance. And normally if you go to the 8-hour range, you can go there and beyond, just depending on how many sprays, right? So I think this is a fragrance where you can comfortably put 4 to 6 sprays on. It becomes a super projective monster if you go north of 5 sprays. I think you dial it down based off if you're indoors or outdoors and what type of climate, how much you're aerating. But I think this fragrance comfortably is a 4 to 6 spray fragrance. If you're indoors or you're a young guy and you're in classes or you're in college classes or you're inside for a job interview or you're in close-knit quarters with people, stay around 4. You know what I'm saying? Bam, bam, maybe the center, 1 in the back. You're going to be straight. Trust me. Absolutely phenomenal fragrance. 10 out of 10 in my book as a fragrance, not as a clone. But who cares? Guys, who cares? After you buy the fragrance, you will never refer to it as a clone ever again. And the people smelling you will not even know what the word clone is because they're not from this community. Absolutely beautiful fragrance. Do you guys have this fragrance? Before I go, let me just shed some light on this nice little document that I saw on Reddit. If you're interested in any of the Armaf Odyssey collection, these are what each thing is apparently cloning. We've got Oud for Greatness, Bulgari Tiger, Jean Paul Gaultier, Scandal, Yves Saint Laurent, Y, Paco Rabanne Invictus, Impario's Armani Stronger With You, Dior Sauvage, and Tom Ford Noir Extreme. Those are a lot of popular fragrances, guys. So if you're into this collection, I know the Armaf White Edition does a really good job. Mandarin Sky does a very good job. I don't have any of the rest of the collection. I think those are a little more harder to find, but take a screenshot of that picture if you're interested in any other ones from the collection, because, you know, who doesn't want to smell like Invictus Platinum, Bulgari Tiger, Dior Sauvage, Jean Paul Gaultier, YSLY, Oud for Greatness. Those are all fragrances that the Odyssey line might not be the best fragrance clone for that, but just in case you're interested in this line, because they did such a good job with this. And these fragrances are more cheap in the clone category. I find more around the $20 price point. There's a little cheat sheet for you guys if you wanted. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a blessed day. Listen, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I love comments. You guys know I've no one has gone unresponded to. I respond to everybody in the comments, and we have a lot of comments. I interact with everybody. Love the conversation of fragrance. If you guys turn on your notifications, it really makes it worth it that I'm releasing videos every single day. Listen, guys, there was only one day I messed up and I couldn't drop the episode. It wasn't because the episode wasn't done. It was because I didn't have time to get to the computer to make the picture for the thumbnail. And you guys know I like making creative thumbnails. So because I couldn't get that together, I couldn't drop the episode. So what did I do? I dropped 2 episodes the next day right on you guys. So I'm not playing around, guys. And there will come a time when I finish my collection where I'm not going to be dropping episodes every day. Once I finish my collection, which we're about 50 fragrances away from finishing my entire collection, we are then going to move to about a 2 episode a week regiment, because we're going to have more conceptual based episodes, and those are a little bit harder to make, take a little bit more time. You know, at that point, it's not like I'm going to be buying fragrances every day. We're going to space this thing out. But I always said, you know, when I start my channel, I want people to see everything that I've bought, because every fragrance I bought, I know a lot of people in the community have been wanting to buy. I survey what fragrances are the most popular. I put my nose to them. And so I want people to have my unbiased review, you know, and my thorough review, which I feel like I review fragrances double the time of most people that review a fragrance, just to give you guys that extra reassurance of if you should purchase it. But, you know, I do that with every one of my fragrances. So right now we're on that mission, and I don't know how long I'm going to have this channel, guys. I want it to be a resource, but I'm not going to try and invent ways to be resourceful. I want to give you guys real information about fragrances I actually own. Make it fun, make it like we're just talking, like something we talk about on the phone. Hey, buy this. Hey, no, don't buy that. Hey, I experienced this. You know, it's just fun. It's a fun hobby, guys. But I've talked myself to death. I'm sure you're already asleep. You guys be blessed. I'll talk to you sometime soon. Let me know if you have Armaf's Odyssey Homme Black Bottle Eau de Parfum in your collection. And until next time, you're in the scent bubble. Peace out.